guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Jessica and today I'm going to do some ink roses. I'm using a Pentel Aquash ink pen in light black. And then I also use a Pentel Aquash water brush, which is just filled with water, but it also has the brush tip, which they are both so versatile. So, how is everyone? It has been a little while since I have made a video. I've been very busy and I noticed that we hit over 100 subscribers, which is so awesome, and I can't wait to keep this channel growing. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how I did this drawing. A lot of what I did was use the water brush with the plain water first to cover a petal, and then I go over with the ink pen and it creates this beautiful feather effect that looks like veins in a flower, and it's perfect in my opinion. I am using a reference photo from Pinterest. It's just black and white, you know, roses. And I start with the shadows on the petals, and these are just base layers. You will see me later on in the video go over them in more detail. You can also see me use different parts of the brush. Sometimes I use the fine tip to go along the inner edge, and then I sometimes use the side of the brush to do larger areas of the black. And I'm bouncing around from petal to petal so I don't do it all together and they make one big puddle and bleed into each other. This is also my very first time using this pen to do a full drawing. I did do a couple test swatches, but just to get an idea of how the pen works, but I'm just winging it, honestly. If I find I do something I don't like, I will usually just go over with the water brush, try to blend it out. If that doesn't work, then I would go over again with the black ink. So you can see at this stage that I've started to do some detail on the petals that have dried while working on newer petals that I haven't touched yet. So I'm trying to keep it going, so that way I don't have to sit and wait for a certain area to dry. And here I bring in a little jar of water, and what I do with this is I dip the whole ink pen into the jar of water, and it pushes the ink back so it's not so dark, and when I go over the petal, it's a very, very light black. You can see the difference there. I just put down some ink and I didn't wet the petal first, so you can see those harsh outlines, which I liked in some areas, but this area I did not, so I went over with the water and tried to smear it out some. But hey, it's not gonna be perfect. Like I said, this is my very first time, but I really enjoyed the process because you can really see the flower become three-dimensional as I work my way around the petals. leaves in the background were probably the toughest for me because I wasn't sure how dark to go with them or how much detail to put in them. So I started off with it light, but then I thought it looked too plain, and later on in the video I go back in and darken them up. Here I'm just adding fine details, and you can see that certain areas of the rose have really lightened up as the ink dries. That one petal over there on the right, in my opinion, is a little too dark, but it is a waterproof ink, so once it is down and dry, you can't lift it up. So here you can see I went in with the leaves, and I tried to draw some details, and then I did not like the way it looked, so I just covered it up. But because I didn't use any water, the lines were very harsh, so then I go back with the water and again with the ink pen to cover it up. So it's a lot of testing and trial and error. That's the word I'm looking for. Trial and error. So here's my finished piece, and I want to do a close-up so you can see all the details and brush strokes. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to subscribe to see more, that would be awesome. And hopefully I will see you guys in my next video.